Hey everybody, we are Lisa and Greg.
Welcome to GLR, where we break out of our American bubble and discover Europe.
Yes, and today's video is I Survived German Rudeness by Rudeness. And Lisa will include a link in the description so you can go and show them some love.
Yes, this was a recommendation by Furwalu in the Discord. And we don't see this rudeness. So I think it's a funny stereotype that every German we've come in contact with,
or have encountered.
Yeah, have encountered, have been super nice.
Yeah,
and so gracious and generous and amazing. And so
that's true. Yeah, we don't experience it like that. So,
no.
But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, she's German, so and she gave it to us. So
right.
I feel that makes it okay for us to do this.
Makes it okay.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look.
Okay.
Let's go.
I think that's expecting too much. Yeah. That's why I really like the fact that we live in a country with such poor customer service. I've got respect for that. You know, this is a horrible train, you're tearing tickets, of course you're in an awful mood.
That was British comedian David Mitchell talking about rude staff. Now, what I find particularly interesting about that is that he was, of course, talking about the situation in the UK. But this is something that is normally associated with Germany. Certainly, one of the first things that people, Brits included, notice about this country is how appallingly bad customer service is. It starts the moment you get off the plane. Certainly, my experience has been that British immigration officials, thank you, welcome to Britain, sir, are a lot more pleasant than German immigration officials. If anything, the German officials are even worse now that I can get in just by scanning my passport, and the officials just sit sealed in their glass boxes. Here is a real-life anecdote. I was recently on the little train that serves this valley, and some of the stops on that line are request stops. If you want to get on the train, you have to stand where the train driver can see you so that he can stop the train. So we pulled up rather sharply at one station to let somebody on, and when we set off again, the driver made the following announcement. Sie müssen sich ein bisschen früher bemerkbar machen. A few minutes later, the conductor went into the driver's cab and I heard her pass on a message from one of the passengers. A huge thank you, and it is so rare to find such a nice train driver these days. I never did find out whether it was that passenger being sarcastic or a different passenger talking about something else. So, is it true? Are Germans always rude? Well, it depends. It depends on a lot of things, but mostly it depends on your definition of rude and what you're used to.
It's that's what I was going to say in the beginning. It depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
And I can see that because I know a lot of people from the UK. The mannerism or the way they are there is everything's please, thank you. It's kind of the same way in America. You know, it's rude if you're not saying please, thank you.
Yeah, you're not polite.
Not polite. Yeah, it's a polite culture. In the UK, and I think it's a polite culture in the US.
Yeah. I would agree.
So if you don't get that, you're rude.
Yeah.
And so it's all perspective.
That's true.
Or you could see them as just direct and just getting to the point or whatever.
I prefer direct.
I know, we always do.
I think it's great for me.
And the way, it's kind of the same way here in Spain, where it's more direct. You don't get all that super kindness. You know, when you order something, I want. Right. You can say I want or put me down for it. It's, you know, it's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Brit, and now also as a German, I find it deeply unsettling to go to a country like the US and be surrounded by complete strangers doing awful jobs, all trying to pretend that I am the best thing that has happened to them all week. Yeah. I'm with David Mitchell on this one. I know you don't want to wear that grin, and I think that you know that I know. So why are we going through this pretense? Here in Germany, I have managed to catch people on a bad day, and it hasn't always been a very pleasant experience for me, which is unfortunate. But I deal with that by reminding myself that these are human beings, just like me, often working in jobs where they get yelled at by people all the time. But I can't actually say that people have been really rude to me. Indifferent, yes, and sometimes even unhelpful, but not downright rude. Most people I've dealt with on a professional basis have been perfectly pleasant and respectful. Different people are going to have different experiences. Now, I spent 10 years living in Berlin, which even by German standards is legendary for its rudeness. But there it's a kind of a running gag. There's a strange mix of Prussian order and efficiency, so government officials aren't going to waste time on meaningless small talk, they're just going to tell you what you need to know. And subversive egalitarianism. A bus driver might yell at you because we're all equals here.
I think it's interesting because, like, I remember yesterday we were at the coffee shop and I had my phone sitting on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And then just a local just came by and told me, don't leave my phone there because it was in Spanish, but don't leave my phone there because somebody could just grab it and run.
Right.
And he didn't say it with a smile. He said it like, you know, like kind of what is wrong with you, you know, like that. But obviously he's a nice person because he stopped to say something.
Yeah.
So, but it's just how he said it.
Right.
You know, and I was like, oh man, that was super nice.
Yeah, yeah.
He said that.
Yeah, he didn't say be careful, we gotta watch out, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
He just
said, don't, please, you know, put this in your bag. Don't leave this just sitting there because somebody could just come by and take it.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just all perspective.
Yeah, and he repeated it like twice.
Yeah.
And then looked at me like, what's wrong with you?
Well, okay, we got it.
Gracias. All right.
Now I live in the rural south, and I have to say that in all my dealings here with officials, whether it's registering my address, getting married, applying for citizenship, I have always been treated courteously by people who are clearly a lot more relaxed in general. Personally, I don't find German rudeness difficult to deal with at all, but this is after 30 years of living here. And I do have to admit that when I first came to this country, it did take me a little while to get used to it. If you're from the kind of culture where you expect to be smiled at and treated like royalty all of the time, then you might experience a fair amount of culture shock over this. But if you see it for what it is, basically just people being honest about what they think and feel, you may be able to tolerate it just a bit better. Now, if you want to see another of my videos, you can click on the thumbnail in the closing credits. If not, this is the end of the video. Goodbye.
That was perfect. That was a perfect ending.
Yeah. You know, it's the same way in Spain, you know, where in the US, say you're walking by someone on the street, it's common courtesy to kind of, you know, look at them, say hello, or it feels awkward if you just look away, or, you know, it's almost like you feel this need in some places to
here
in the US
to
say hello or just to acknowledge them in some way, even if it's a small smile.
Yeah.
Where here, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You just kind of are walking by and somebody could perceive that as like, God, they walked right by me and they didn't even acknowledge my existence.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is.
But I think it's great. I mean, I think it's liberating because you can just be yourself. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to, you know, look at somebody, you have to smile, wonder what they're thinking, or forgot, did I smile the right way? You know, all that kind of stuff.
It is liberating.
Yeah, I think it's great.
A lot of it is in anywhere you live, you could be getting someone on a bad day. Yeah. And so sometimes when someone is, you know, flipped you off or honked at you or whatever, it is perspective again, where it's like, oh, well, they're probably having a bad day. You could just say that in your mind. Was like, oh,
that probably could have saved me a lot of headache because I've had a few road rage moments.
Yeah.
That probably could have saved me a lot.
But anybody just could be generally having a bad day.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's take a look here. As a Brit living in Germany, the rudest thing for me is being ignored in a queue as someone steps in front of me.
Oh.
When I rarely confront these people, they say they didn't see me. I didn't realize I was invisible.
That's like a you problem. Right? Because you got offended by it, but it sounded like it was a true accident. I mean, maybe.
Well, I know here there is no queue really. I mean, you just and you can be standing there first, and you have to speak up because somebody else will come in and just go. I mean,
maybe there's no queue in Germany.
Maybe
a real queue like there is in the UK.
Yeah,
it's like a big deal.
Yeah, but I think everybody is pretty fair here. You know,
everybody's fair.
Whoever's working as a cashier, they'll ask who's next, and everybody's fair.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Yeah, but there's no line or we're just all waiting. You just keep track of who came.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I love that. I lived in Germany for 3 months last year. I traveled a lot using the €9 ticket. Everyone I had any interaction with was wonderful, especially at my local Lidl. Oh, and Revway. Oh, that was one. Reve, maybe? I don't know. There was one local bus driver that was awesome.
Yeah, see? Go ahead.
Oh, me, a German, and a Polish lady got yelled at by a London bus driver because apparently we walked in too fast.
See, it happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, Germany just got a bad stereotype attached to them.
Well, because they have a real cold pan, they're just chill, which we've done videos on it.
Yeah, we have.
So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective.
He did say that he had a hard time adjusting, but probably because he was is he from the UK?
I don't know where he's from, but I know he's been in Germany 30 years. So
but it takes an adjustment probably anywhere you go.
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
Differences.
Right. Well, that was a great video. So if you want to support the channel, like the video, and you can subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye.
Peace.